if we can sit down at the table, we can maybe hammer something out.
I hope so. Very well.
Pluto, you've grown up so much since we first entered the rat nest, and it's like your meat apple has grown 2 sizes since
I lost
then.
a lot of good men the week before, and that day, and it's given me a lot of time to think.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Pluto, if Uriel Radley does challenge you to a duel, I suggest we stand our ground on a Caspian duel. Much more in favor of you walking away with your head intact. Plus, I hear you're quite the monster slayer.
Yes.
Caspian duel?
Actually, I murdered a demon recently.
A demon, there you go. So, Veo, if you're unfamiliar, a Caspian duel is, rather than fighting each other, the 2 participants of the duel, possibly hiring an entourage of 2 to 3 other people, will then go on a monster hunt and either see who can kill a monster the fastest, or in more likely cases, see who can kill the bigger monster in a set amount of days and come back with a trophy. It's the Caspian way of sporting duels without having to murder each other. After several years of killing each other...
Yeah, we lost a lot of... Like, we found that it was really hard to fight external battles with all the internal battles. So, it's... there's a lot of history there.
Well, that's definitely going to be in your favor, Pluto. I mean, it's Caspian in its name, so... Should be right up your alley.
And I have a real good feeling about the Kingsmouth this year. So, like, with the demon under my belt, it's things are looking up.
Very well.
Looking up my way. Jackson House is strong.
We've now traveled past Landhelm. So, is there anything else that you would like to arrange before we arrive in Geldstad? We should be there in
If we're dueling, Veo, can you use that seal on me? If that hammer comes after my head, you don't mind.
I'll make sure before we go into any negotiations that I will give the bestest command that the Lord Commander can give to make sure that you're covered. All right, Pluto?
We'll avoid a duel as best we can. I hope for peaceful negotiations.
What if it comes to it?
I've dealt with Illyrians. They seem to have that single focus, and it's going to take a lot to turn this ship around. If how deep they are into Westamar, they've come all this way. And we are going to need to negotiate our socks off. Wilhelm, I think you're going to have to turn that charm up to a lot.
I'm hoping it's simple enough to serve them some humble pie with the words, but, you know, sometimes they think with their swords first, so we'll see what comes of it.
Well, with that, you spend the next 2 or 3 days traveling past Landhelm, along the Eastern River, crossing the Eastern River, which eventually flows into the Grand River, and then over the bridges towards Geldstad. In the distance, as you approach, you can see that Geldstad itself, in the distance, twinkles with orange-red street lamps. For Geldstad is a wealthy city. It lies along a small tributary that flows from the Glitter Mountains into the Eastern River and then into the Dran River, known as the Glitter Wash, a river that famously is known for excellent gold panning, hence the wealth of Geldstad and indeed its name. The city well adorned, protected by its sturdy walls, and definitely has a wealthy populace. Their houses finished with slate rooftops and plush purple curtains. Wealth and opulence, in fact, are on full display, as the boulevards and the streets of Geldstadt are decorated with flower beds and intricate cobblestones. The city itself sort of straddles the Glitterwash River with a great bridge leading up to the wall, so it's on one side of the river, and then the walls surround it and protect it up against the river itself, with one bridge extending over the Glitterwash River, although you are actually coming from the other side, since you're approaching from the north, you're on the side of the city that actually is on the same side of the Glitterwash River as you. And Geldstadt itself is well known for its urban architecture and the fact that it actually has many great galleries. It is well known for having great artists, several theaters as well. And the Duchess herself, Ursula von Sydow, as you get within a day's ride of the city, she does dispatch her heralds to welcome you, bring her missive, extend her invitations, and guide you sort of the rest of the way towards Schroeder, to the Schroeder estate, where you'll be staying, where she's made arrangements. The messenger brings a letter from Ursula von Sydow saying that respectfully she would prefer to not attend the negotiations personally, if that is acceptable to you.
It is.
And nevertheless, she does state in her letter that should it be necessary, she's happy to provide whatever other accommodations are necessary. And as you arrive at the manor house, there are several carriages and wagons that are outside, where a staff has been provided from Ursula von Sydow to help with the manor house itself. The estate is rather overgrown. It seems like it once had a old hedge maze of its own and its own vineyard, which has fallen into disuse.
Finally
perhaps in the
Friday!
past several years. But the large two-story manor house is richly appointed, and already you can see that there are several gardeners out front that are making sure that the entrances are accessible, and they provide the keys and everything that are needed to your people to start using the manor itself. And Elias Drexel immediately counsels with you, Veo, to make sure that several hooded lanterns actually go in first and make sure that there's no traps.
Yes. Send in a few to make sure that no traps, well-stocked food. Let me know how the kitchen is. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, actually, what we can do here is,
Okay.
yeah, I have a bit of a outlook of it if you want to look at the floor plan of the manor itself. So this is the ground level of the manor house.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So from the front entrance, right up over here, there is a kind of a large landing room and welcoming area, and then there is a great hall, as well as several side and sitting rooms, the kitchens, storage, quarters for the servants as well, storage rooms, and then the upper level is well appointed with a balcony and several private bedrooms as well. So it is up to you as the hosts of this affair to decide how you would like to utilize this space for the negotiations.
I think that we should. I'm open to suggestions. So, King switch off, Wilhelm on.
Hallå?
Hej. Har du lust på pizza till middag eller?
as friends. Open to input, but I think that this great hall looks like a prime place to hold negotiations. And perhaps, Veo, you have an affinity for food, I believe.
So well.
Do you have like a good chef amongst the Hooded Lanterns?
Oh, did we bring Chud with us?
He's got to be part of your very close entourage.
Yes,
I wouldn't have left home without him. I need something to remind me.
Yes, there's a legendary. Apparently, there's a legendary hero known as Chud Hopkins, who is also an astounding cook.
Perhaps.
Does it all.
Well, I've actually heard stories. I heard that he one time slay a dragon single-handedly.
Yeah, literally single hand. It was amazing.
And then he roasted the entire dragon for like the entire company, and it was delicious. It was like a slow roasted dragon.
I've got to ask, how did
rosemary spices.
and I've also heard that he's so humble that when he was offered the position of Lord Commander for being the greatest Hood Lantern of all time, he declined and said he just wanted to work in the kitchen.
Yeah, I would have stepped down for him. He is fantastic.
Yeah,
Both in the kitchen and on the battlefield.
Great.
I'm getting ahead of myself here. Perhaps Chud could prepare a meal for our guests, because if they're well fed, they might be a little happier to negotiate.
Maybe you can
that's
prepare
probably a
something
good
on my bucket list since we're, traveling. Have something special.
Indeed.
Cool. So I just put some tokens down. So several of the elite members of the Kingsguard of the Hooded Lanterns are also here for you as well. And it is up to all of you to decide how you want to orchestrate all of this.
What do you guys think about like a line, like we get all the guards like saluting as the Illyrians enter, like pay respects? Or is there something flamey? Like
we can do flames. We can do torches. I knew a guy that did really great flames, but he's off on another mission. What I think we could do though is maybe do like a sort of like a weaponless sort of situation to try to encourage like the peace talks.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like and we could place Ignatius somewhere on like a mantle to sort of be like, this is like, oh, we can do one of the cauldrons of flame. They love those. They love their cauldrons of flame.
yeah, if we could get a like central
Like
flame.
a brazier, is it brazier? Is it?
Brazier, not a brazier. You're mixing it.
My mind's in the gutter. You get one of those like those big old bowls full of fire. They love those.
Right
the
in the
Illyrians,
center.
they go nuts over them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we get a brazier of flames. we centralize that. We do a weaponless ceremony.
Yeah.
We have the
Zone of
guards.
Zone of truth?
We drop the zone of truth.
Yeah, we ask all.
We start in the zone of truth and we welcome them into it.
Yes, we offer them to enter the zone of truth.
There's no one amongst your contingent that can cast the spell. You would need to invite a flame.
Pluto, you
Ophelia will do
can,
it.
you can cast
Can
Zone
we
of
make
Truth, can't you?
Ignatius do it? Can
Yes.
we make a...
Yep.
I mean,
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
we always just... Ignatius makes me speak my mind. It's just good to have other people having to deal with it too.
Definitely appetizers and then a main course.
Yeah, like, what's
I want to
Chud feel
set
like?
a good, hearty, meal with friends kind of vibe.
So we're gonna. Is that where you want the brazier of flame?
That's
Yes.
nice. That's really nice.
Yes.
And
Really nice.
I will sit at this head table with Pluto and Veo on either side of me. And then Elias and,
Can I make a pitch?
yeah.
We want everyone at the same table. That's the there's underlying messages. We get it. We do the big table, but we go sideways. The chair, maybe that's where Ignatius sits.
Do we want to do it where it's like them, us, them, us.
Yeah, we do
Like not
the
even across the
alternating.
table. We just like mix
You
everybody
gotta
up.
sit beside a stranger. You gotta learn what their hobbies are. You got
This could be great. Perhaps we even offer
Damn,
Uriel
great.
Radley the big seat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, but there is a balance of showing power. We don't want to let them know that they're running the show.
The
True,
Lord Commander
true.
makes a very good point. You are the king, and they are invaders here.
I will take the big seat to show confidence. Confidence is key, is one of my rules.
Yes. Okay. So it's like friendly, but not too friendly. You know,
Yeah,
they
we
are
wanna-
at war
you
in
can
our
sit at the
country,
table, but it's
so-
our table.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that it is important that we present ourselves as friendly, but not weak.
Indeed.
Yes.
The Silver
Yes.
Order is honorable. And I would not expect them to try an attack on us. But what if they do?
Well, if they
Go on.
surrender their weapons, I suppose several of them have magic powers of sorts.
If their bodies are weapons.
Well,
It's also true that we have our forces here. But if they did opt to deploy their aerial forces, we would be in trouble.
Yes.
We need
And-
lookouts.
I'm gonna tape. I'm like, good point, and I'm going to stick a dagger under the chair.
If that doesn't scream insecurity, why don't we just get you a really big dinner knife? We go, oh, he really needs to cut his meat, but it's like clearly a weapon. And we go, oh no, it's totally ceremonial and
To cut the beef.
it's for
The
chicken
king's
carving.
steak knife.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just the
so
king's
weird.
It's a sword.
I mean, one thing is like we're trying to give and take, and if they're gonna attack, they're gonna attack. There's nothing we can do to stop that.
We can know about it. That's always ahead of time.
The guards will remain armed. There will be two stationed at the front of this room. The rest will be stationed outside in the front hall, but they will all be armed.
And do we know if there's a basement or a cellar or some sort of safe exit for the king?
Yeah, is there like a secret passage?
There are cellars beneath the storerooms and the kitchen.
Sweet.
Okay, Wilhelm, this is really important.
There is a rather expansive wine cellar.
Wilhelm, Veo and I, we have a code word, and it's important that you become privy to it, so you know what to do.
Top secret.
Some people yell fire, some people yell help.
Usually we just yell, get out, or escape, or...
No, that can all be confused.
Yeah.
How could that be?
Multiple things. So if you hear one of us yell pork chops, you get out, okay?
Pork chops.
In that.
Yeah, and not like past the pork chops. It's like a single.
Pork chops.
We're going to be eating dinner, and I was actually thinking pork chops might be a delicious option.
Yeah, and we've had that situation, I'm sure, happen.
And you're telling me this is less confusing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So even if we have pork chops, it's walnut pork chops. You know.
Yeah, and we'll be yelling it, and you'll probably see someone on fire.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it'll
Almost
be really
always
clear.
someone's on
what to do.
fire.
Yeah.
So we should not serve pork chops.
Yeah, let's
to
do a
avoid
roast.
confusion, let's do a roast. Yeah, good idea.
Get tenderloin.
Oh, Minotaur prime rib. Minotaur prime rib.
Minotaur prime rib.
A prime rib it is.
But I believe that that's only in the sense of things going south, and we will do our best to evacuate you and get you out of Gelstead immediately.
Very well. Well, so we'll serve food. We'll handle negotiations here. We'll all sit at one table. What we might be able to do is push the 2 tables there to either end to form a sort of U shape of tables so that we can accommodate everybody.
Yeah, hopefully those on the inside don't get too close to the fire. We'll make sure there's enough space.
Who would you like to actually invite into the delegates?
Ophelia Reed. If we can get Hackfield, she would be welcome. I suppose it would be rude not to invite Uriel Bradley. And then, if they have any Flamekeepers with them, or possibly any renowned Silver Order members that they would like privy, we will allow up to 5 other individuals to join us for dinner. And we will have us 3, Elias, and some Petra, and maybe 2 or 3 other of your best hooded lanterns who you think, just to show presence, I suppose, to show that we're making peace. We have companies here. We have people. Sort of bring a human element to it.
Is there any royalty of Gelstead that would be present?
They opted to stay out of it, I believe.
Yes, we could extend our invitation to Duchess Ursula von Sindau and her household, but it seems that she wishes to remain absent. I can't say I blame her. It would be disastrous. I'll be honest. The situation, the chances outside of this, were it not the Silver Order, were they not such honorable warriors, I would not extend this type of hospitality to an invading force. If these were Caspians, they would be planning to attack us.
Yeah, we do. That's one of our best tricks. We call it the Caspian horse. We come in, yeah, under the guise of peace.
Especially if it was House Jaeger.
Oh, yes.
Ruffians. No.
No.
Very well then. Alright. They will likely bring a contingent of their own soldiers beyond it. I believe we should, in the interest of austerity. We have with us 100 of our own soldiers.
Oh, shit.
And I will tell them to come with the force of the Lord. And we will match our soldiers to theirs in postings outside, and we will make arrangements for all the soldiers to be fed.
Wonderful.
Very well then. Any other arrangements that you would like to make before we extend these invitations?
Do we know which... Are they staying over or are they leaving?
That is up to us.
We have enough rooms? Yeah?
Yes, we do. We could accommodate... Obviously, the soldiers are making our encampments around the estate and in the other servants' quarters. And there is a village nearby that can accommodate most of our other soldiers, but we could accommodate the core Illyrian delegation here.
I think it would be a kind gesture to offer them housing for their long trip that they've taken.
We're not going to do any funny business about it.
I do not want to approach this Elias as a backstab or anything that could instigate war. The goal here is to avoid conflict. The goal here is to make friends.
The only thing is what do we have to offer?
I mean, again, I want to hear what they have to offer first. In exchange, I'm hoping this is the tricky part, and we're going to need to keep this on the down low. Again, usage of language is going to be important here. Currently, I am not King of Westamar. I do not sit on the throne of Drakenheim. My offers are technically going to be contingent on the fact that I will be king. I can offer the troops of Westamar, the riches of Westamar, and we might have to.
Hallo?
Hallo, jobber du ennå?
Nei, ikke nå. Nå er jeg på vei hjem. Hvorfor ringer du på WhatsApp? Det er ikke alltid så stabilt. Hallo? Ja. Jeg jobber på Tåsen. Ja. Nei, jeg må lage middag til Ludvig. Ja. Gjør du det? Ja, det var straffen da. Ja. Så lenge det ikke handler om penger i Norge, så får man ikke så ville straffer.